So for my assignment, for my briefing, I decided to do an activity on purposeful play and the importance of play and how it shapes the brain and builds connections for lifelong learning, because this is often a misconception between parents and early childhood educators on how the play is purposeful in the classroom, and wondering, why is my child not learning, or how is my child learning when all they do is quote unquote play in the classroom. So play is an engagement and activity and for enjoyment and recreation rather than serious or practical purpose. And when paired with the classroom, when paired in a quality early childhood setting, those two things go hand in hand. So if you walk into a quality early childhood setting, you'll observe that the children are engaged in what they're doing. The teachers have curated an environment for the children to explore, to learn, and challenge themselves through thoughtful and pre-planned activities. In an article published by the American Academy of Pediatrics, it notes that there's a growing consensus that play is an activity that is intrinsically motivated, so children choose to do that activity. It entails active engagement, so they are focused on the activity, and it results in joyful discovery, so they're learning something through that activity. Play is voluntary and often has no extrinsic goals. It's often fun and it's spontaneous. So to the untrained eye, one might comment that all the children are doing are playing in the classroom, which is what the teacher wants the child to feel like they're doing. However, through these pre-planned activities and centers, the children find themselves exploring fundamental concepts of language and development, mathematical concepts, science, social exploration, and even through creative expression. Within each of these large curriculum concepts, one will find multiple avenues for early learning skills that would be built upon for the child's entire educational career. For example, when they are choosing blocks to build a tower or a structure, they're working on cognitive abilities such as, how high can I make this before it falls over? Or if I put this shape and this shape together, will it work for the formation of my creation? So they're working on those geometrical skills, they're working on the spatial reasoning, they're working on balancing. Their language skills are being developed through learning vocabulary words they need for different play scenarios. For example, in the dramatic play area, if you have a grocery store set up, they're talking about receipts, they're talking about the checkout process, they're talking about organizing foods by dairy, fruits, and vegetables. All of these things are large vocabulary words that these children are being exposed to that they may or may not be exposed to outside of the classroom, depending on their parental involvement in their learning. Literacy skills as well, so going back to that grocery store, children are working on writing words such as apple, banana, orange to create a grocery list so they can go shopping, check off items on their list. These are all important concepts for early learning. Their physical abilities, such as their fine motor, using scissors, using glue appropriately, knowing how to use a glue bottle versus a glue stick, all requires different muscles in their hands. And then their large motor skills, running around on the playground, playing chase, galloping, skipping, hopping, those are all big muscle groups that are developing. And as they're strengthening those muscles, strengthening their shoulder muscles, they're working on building their ability to write better, they're working on their ability to focus better in school because they're releasing that extra energy. Their social skills, such as playing together, solving a problem, they are role-playing in a lot of these situations as well. So if there's a problem at home, such as mom and dad arguing, or not listening to mom or dad, or they've got a new baby in their family, you often see those situations played out throughout the dramatic play experience. And last, their emotional skills, like waiting for a turn to get a cup of water, or waiting for a turn at the drinking fountain. I really want to play with that toy, however somebody else has it, so when you're done, can I use it, please? All of these things are really important for early development, and a lot of times if they aren't exposed to a quality early childhood experience, when they get to that kindergarten or first grade experience, it really starts to show in their learning. With purposeful activities planned that correlate with the child's interests, the children often become absorbed in their play or learning. So it no longer really feels like they're doing hard work. It feels like all they do is play, so when they go home, all they can tell mom and dad is that they played, but in reality, all of these skills that I just talked about are interwoven into their learning every single day. Play and learning, they go hand in hand, so just like as students in college or students in high school have a lecture and a lab, play essentially is the lab for children's learning. So we learn, we force all these skills in their little minds and bodies all day, and then by the time they get to play, they're using those skills and the skills that they've been exposed to, or the lab, the learning part of their day. In an article that I read that, nope, skip that part.